Oh, future Kev's not going to be happy. I'm having a full fat Diet Coke to celebrate the fact that we're potentially just a couple of games away from securing promotion to the Championship. Quite frankly, as well, future Kev should blame past Kev for the pickle that he's in. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just enjoying a delightful beverage. Hello and welcome to part 51 of the Bolton Battle. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have two games. Just two today, you've got two tomorrow. We could win the league today. We could throw it away today. It could all be up in the air going in tomorrow. We've got 4 games left this season. We haven't done anything since you were last with me. You know exactly what the situation is. As it stands right now, we have 4 games left. Everyone else around us only has 3 games left. We've got that game in hand. So with 4 games remaining, we're 3 points clear at the top of the league. Also only 3 points clear at third place. So a couple of results not going our way and we fall out of promotion spots, not just the title winning spot. We have just about secured a playoff spot. I would say 8 points clear. We'd have to spectacularly collapse and everyone else win every game for us to not be in the playoffs. So the season's going to have an exciting climax regardless of what happens. Cambridge have spectacularly fallen apart. They might not even stay in the playoffs now, and they were challenging us for the title until just a few weeks ago. It's probably, it could be any one of 5. I mean, Wycombe have been nowhere all season. Has anyone seen Wycombe in this league table all season long? It's been us, Swindon, Posh and Cambridge. Southend and Wycombe have come from nowhere. I guess it says that I would think they're form teams, but they're not. I mean, we probably are. Yeah, we're the form team in the division again. Everyone else, I don't know. I don't pretend to know. Let's have a look at the team that we're playing today. There is a bit of an injury problem at right back. In Alonso is still suspended because of 15 yellow cards. It's a 3-match ban that he's been on. And Glenn Jennings has now picked up a knock and is out for a few weeks. So we're having to play Alan Mitchell out at right wing back. We knew we'd have to do this sooner or later, probably in an emergency. It's an emergency today, but because he's our backup centre back, we're a little bit light for centre-back coverage. Mr. Beige appearing on the bench again, despite me being convinced I'd barely have to play him this year. He's probably played about 20 games. 22 games, there you go, see? Despite me thinking I wouldn't have to play him. So, our team for the all-important game away against Preston today. We've got Barrett in goal, Thomas, Pants and Bagley as our back three, White and Mitchell as wing-backs, with Key and Durant in midfield, John Jones in behind, Parnell and Semedo up front. I don't think we can win the league today. Let's look at combinations. Everyone's playing. So if we win and they all lose, can that happen? They're not playing each other, are they? So we'd be on 78. They'd be on... We could, with our goal difference, we could effectively win it today. We could certainly wrap this up on today's episode. But you know how our season's been. It's been so up and down all year long. That we could, it's just as likely that we'll wrap the title up on today's episode as it is that we'll go into tomorrow in third place and not even securing promotion. I have no idea which way it's going to go. You'd like to think, now we're the form team again, you'd like to think we should be able to hold on for 2 more games. We can afford to mess up a couple of them. We'd have to lose all 4 of them to not get promoted at this point, surely. Even losing 3 of the 4, you'd expect us to still sneak second. With Swindon and Posh not being in particularly great form, I don't know. I want to win today, because a win today, especially if the other 2 don't win, and we're effectively up. And that's what it's all about. So it looks like this is going to be an attack for us now. Mitchell in it's the most advanced position we've ever seen. Alan Mitchell, can he cross? He can. He finds Parnell. We're 1-0 up. And that puts us still only 3 points clear of Swindon and Posh, who are obviously both already winning. We're not going to get promoted today, are we? We might not even get promoted in today's episode, as it stands. So, it's a good cross from Alan Mitchell, right on the touchline. Finds Parnell. It's behind. It wasn't actually that great a cross. Parnell made it look better than it was by taking a step back away from his defender, creating a little bit of space for himself. And nice, tidy little finish. We need the latest scores on as well, don't we? We can't just have the league table at this point of the season. Will you stop? Right. Nearly started the second half without team talk there because the stupid game won't let me. Right, we don't care what formation they're playing. We want latest scores. That's what we want. Latest scores. Squidge that in a bit. Let's take up a bit of room. Do we care? What don't we care about on there? We're not interested in fouls and all that nonsense. Corners are quite interesting. There you go. So, as it stands at half time, Posh are winning 1-0 against Middlesbrough. Swindon are drawing 1-1 against Shrewsbury, so they've dropped down. They're getting to the point where they can't catch us at this point. And Southend are... Can't even see them. Where is Southend? Don't know. Seeing the Salford badge, it does remind me. A lot of you have asked about the badges and why they're not working. I don't know. They just stopped working a few days ago. I have tried reinstalling them and it doesn't seem to have worked. I'll have a proper fiddle with it over the weekend. But for now, for the next few days, we're just going to have to make do without the proper badges. Would you rather no badges, no episodes? They're your choices. So, we've got to go badge free for it. Oh, Swindon must be losing. Are they losing? No, they're not losing. Who is Swindon playing? Can you lot keep an eye on this while I keep an eye on the game we're actually playing in? Because I'm getting confused now. Right, are we attacking here? I think we are. Right, we're not actually touching the ball though. Pants gets the interception in. We don't really want Preston to push on and get an equaliser here. That would make me quite sad. It hits the crossbar though, and we need to be very careful that we're not so distracted by what's going on elsewhere that we forget that we're actually involved in a game of football as well. White with the interception, but it finds its way back to Preston feet, and Barnett makes a decent save. It would have been nice to see him turn it around. Keep hold of it rather than turning it around the post though, because we are a bit iffy at defending corners. Right, we're letting them overlap us again, but luckily the highlight has ended. Right, time for some substitutions. We need some fresh legs. We're playing a lot of games at the moment, and we've got one more than everyone else still to play as well. So we need to rotate a little bit. So Pennock can come on for John Jones. Shaw can come on for Semedo, and Parnell can go back into his more usual poacher role. By the way, Mark Parnell made his Wales debut. Full Wales international now, only 19 years old and only ever having played for Bolton. I thought that was quite exciting and worthy of note. I don't know if he's played any more games for them since. Yeah, there you go. 2 caps for Wales now, and he's only 19. He is going to be a star. Don't think we're going to get him next year, are we? Regardless of what league we're in. Right, Lee Martin's going to come on for Connor Key for the last 10 minutes. And hopefully we just hold on. It looks like Pants has made it 2-0. What an important goal. Swindon must have gone ahead in their game because they're now back up onto 75 points. Middlesbrough are trying to make it interesting against Posh. They've got one back. It's 2-1 in the Posh Middlesbrough game. Now, I find it much easier to find the Posh scores than anyone else's because I'm used to looking for that name and badge. We need to find Swindon now. I think they're probably ahead. Oh, good. We're getting one of these really long celebrations because the game knows I want to do something else. Yeah, clap, clap, Pants. Well done. Right, hold on. Right, Swindon are winning as well. Okay, so Swindon and Posh both winning at the moment. Southend and Wickham are done. They're out of this now. It's become a 3-horse race with 2 games left to go for this lot. Hopefully, we play our game in hand before the next round of games for everyone else, because then we could win the league in the game in hand. So that puts to 81-6. We'd effectively have won it. It would be a formality, hopefully, in the last couple of games in the next episode if we can win that game in hand. But I don't know when we play it. We might play it. We might have another round of everyone playing fixtures yet. Right, Pennock to Parnell. Parnell out to White. Let's have a third just to finish things off. Martin finds Mitchell out wide. Mitchell can cross here. It's awful again. You can tell he's a centre back playing at wing back. We're going to have Alonso back for the next game, and goodness me, do we need him? Right, well played, gentlemen. I think. Oh, we're playing the bottom of the league team, but is everyone else playing then? That's what we want to find out. So how do we see fixtures on here? Schedule. I don't know how to use this screen. Where are we? We're April. So April the 16th. There's supposed to be a 2-week gap now. Have we got a 2-week gap? We have not. So we're about to play our game in hand. We could win the league before the end of this episode. Right. The press conference reckons we can win the league today. And I don't understand. I don't understand. it would put us on 81 points, 6 points clear of Swindon and Posh. Yes, we have a better goal difference, but it's not insurmountable. I don't understand. We might win the league today, apparently. So this is the team that we're playing. Tom White picked up a suspension in the last game, so Ben Booth comes in for him. Alonso has now finished his suspension, so he comes in at right wing back again. I think White's probably out for the season. I think that was a 20 yellow cards he's had. We probably need to take these wing backs off of hard tackling or whatever they're on. So Tom White's season is over. We might never see him playing a Bolton shirt again. So bye-bye, Tom White. You've been phenomenal for 2 years. 47 assists in, 75 games across 2 years, across 2 divisions. What a player. We need to sign him permanently. We're never going to be able to. In midfield, Lee Martin comes in, so we want a captain in the team for a day like this. It could conceive, if we win the league today, it's probably going to be Lee Martin's last game for the club. 26 years old. He's been here since we saw him play brilliantly against us in the Conference North playoffs from Macclesfield. We just went and threw money at Macclesfield and brought him with us, and he's been with us all the way through. We'd probably have to give him a game in the Championship. And if we have a good start, probably have to keep him for a game in the Premier League as well, because how much fun is it to have a player who's played with you all the way through and been a regular as well all the way through. So he comes into the team at the expense of Connor Key to play alongside Durant, John Jones, then in behind Parnell and Semedo. Semedo actually got positive media reports. He seems to have turned into a decent player all of a sudden, just when we needed him to. It was ever since I identified him as the potential troublemaker. He seems to have stopped making trouble and started being awesome, which is very handy. Right, we don't need to worry about latest scores today because there aren't any. As long as we win, we apparently we can win the league. I still don't understand how. I mean, perhaps I'm doing the maths wrong. Semedo's in. We're 1-0 up after less than 3 minutes. That's his 10th goal of the season now. He certainly has turned on the form. I wouldn't even say in the second half of the season, in this sort of final quarter of the season, not even the final third, but for the last 7 or 8 games, he's looked like the player we thought we were signing, and has started to bang in a few goals, which has been very helpful when we needed him to. So I still don't get how that is us winning the league. Perhaps the press conference was wrong. I think it's rolling over into tomorrow, and potentially, I know we played Posh away on the last game of the season, but potentially either Swindon or Posh could score an absolute ton. I mean, Posh would be the most likely one to be able to catch us in light of the fixtures that we've got. If we lose our next game 4-0 and they win 4-0, how far? I mean, that would make an 8-goal swing. So it's a 13-goal difference now. They'd then only need to beat us like 3-0 on the last day. It's not unrealistic that they could still win the league. It's probably less likely that Swindon will, because they're not playing us, so it's harder for them to make up a goal difference on us. It's 1-1 though, and this wasn't part of the script. Bradford are bottom of the league. Rock bottom. Oh, they were. They're not bottom anymore. They're up to 22nd. I mean, they're still thinking of survival. They could string a couple of wins together, they get to stay in League One. So perhaps we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, talking about possible combinations that allow us to not win the league if we thrash Bradford, because it's 1-1. We're not going to win our game in hand as it stands. This is a disaster. Right, come on, lads. Get out there, second half, knock in a couple of goals. Let's make the next episode less interesting, because we basically win the league if we do that. I still don't understand mathematically how we can win it today. Southampton and Wycombe, bless them, they've completely fallen off. I mean, it was only the start of the episode we were saying it's a 5-horse race. It's well and truly a 3-horse race now. And fingers crossed, we're going to win that race. Martin is it? I mean, we were talking about him before the game. That's his second incredibly important potential title-winning goal of the season. He is not good enough for this team anymore, but what a servant he has been. And goodness me, does he weigh in with some important goals when we desperately need him. That's fantastic stuff. I'm going to mute my microphone and cough off camera because I'll forget to edit it out. So the mute button works, eh? Shiny new microphone. I got so excited it made my tonsils itch. Right. Let's have a look. Mr. Beige. In fact, we can bring both of these on. We'll bring Mr. Beige and Mitchell on for the two centre-backs who aren't having the best of games. We'll leave the attacking players as they are. Oh, Lee Martin. I've been talking to people. I mentioned it on the podcast this week, which if you don't listen to it yet, check out Mature Gamer Podcast. You can even find it on YouTube. But I was talking on the podcast this week about how I'd quite like a Bolton shirt, but I couldn't decide what player to get on the back. It has to be Martin. What number did he wear when he was a proper regular, or do I just get 32 Martin on the back? Because he's just... These last couple of episodes, I always liked him. That's why he's been a regular for 5 years. But I love him now. These goals he's single-handedly winning us the league. Lee Martin, a Conference North player, absolutely out of his depth, and he just doesn't care. He's going to prove us wrong week in, week out. He'll still be doing it in the Premier League. What a player, Lee Martin. There we go. Right. Have we won the league? Let's have a look. I still don't see how we have, but, we did what the pre-match press conference told us we had to do. Have we won the league? No, we haven't. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We've got 2 more games, playing against Gillingham and against Posh. So the scenario we need to be afraid of is the one we were talking about, where Posh have a big win, we have a big defeat, which hopefully isn't likely against Gillingham, and then we go to them knowing they only need to beat us by like 2 or 3 goals on the last day, because that's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. And we all know that's exactly how it's going to turn out, because that's how this season has been. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.